Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Umineko When They Cry, episode 4. So last time we finished up a great chapter, Oshiramiya's versus the demons, the witches. It was nice, it was fun. Honestly, there was not really any tension in that chapter. It was just good, and they gave hope for the characters, but in the end, they were like, oh, we were just playing around, by the way. And then they offed them one by one. It was very, very cruel, especially for George and Jessica. They were doing their final attacks and then, yeah, Gaap warped them and then they offed each other. It was sad, honestly, but we are here now. Only one left, I guess, for the humans is Maria, Butler, Goda, and Kumasawa, right? So we're gonna see what's gonna happen today and let us continue. Let's do this.
わかるだろ。みんな殺されたんだぞ。あのクソジジイに。ベアトリーチェ復活の儀式とかわけのわかんないことを言った。な
ら、これで13人が生贄に捧げられて。
So what she's saying basically is, do not worry. The 13 sacrifices has been offered already. We're gonna be fine.
もうベアトリーチェは蘇った頃だよ。
ああ、なら上等だ。ベアトリーチェもまとめて一緒にぶち殺してやろう。
マリアたちは儀式を生き残った。だからベアトリーチェに黄金鏡に招待してもらえるんだよ。そこでは願いは何でも叶う。家族を殺されたのが辛いなら生き返らせてもらえばいいのに。マリアはそうするつもりだよ。黒い魔女に取り憑かれていない本当に優しい本当のママを蘇らせてもらうの。
It's very sad. No, it's sad as in like this, yeah, this game, right? There's another game for them. But let's say the real one. Like when this incident happened, let's say Mario was there and then she was still doing this. Like what she's saying is, it don't matter if anyone died, they're gonna come back, right? In the Golden Land. But in reality, no, they're not gonna come back.
だからママはもうずっとマリアと一緒。
That's why for her, like, yeah, they're gone for now, but later we can see them again. Then for Butler, of course, like they're gone, they died.
お仕事とかで残業も休日出勤も何もないの。
There won't be any more overtime or working on days off.
ずっとマリアと一緒にいてくれて、マリアのことだけを考えてくれて。マリアのために恐ろしい敵といつも戦ってくれるの。
お前、どうかしてるぜ。
There's something wrong with you.
なんでこの状況で、そんなわけわかんねえことを言ってられるんだ。
バトラは今、キリエおばさんに言われたはずだよ。魔女を信じろと言われたはずなのに。
くそ。こんなとこで、マリアと口喧嘩してる場合じゃねえぜ。もう人質も何も誰も生き残っちゃいねえんだ。もうクソくだらねえ。おかしな儀式もゲームもおしまいだぜ。ここからは俺の好きにさせてもらう。まだ生きてる奴がいるかもしれない。あるいは、隠れてる奴がいるかもしれない。片っ端から調べて、見つけ出し、ぶちのめしてやるぜ。
In a rage, Butler grabbed his hat, stand spear, and flew out of the room. Maria watched him go, looking bored.
ベアトリーチェがすぐに願いを叶えてくれるのに、バトラはバカ。
At that time, the phone rang out again. Maria stood up and grabbed the receiver.
もしもし。ほう。
Oh, Of course, the sound of the phone also reached the butler's ears as he was about to dash out of the house. With a violent forcefulness, he turned around and dashed into the cousin's room.
マリア電話って誰からだ
With a terrifying look on his face, Butler yelled at Maria, who was on the phone. You couldn't blame him. Right now, the only humans left alive on the island were himself, Maria, Goda, and Kumasawa. But there was no way those two could call after being locked up in the gardening storehouse, which meant there was only one person left. It had to be Kinzo. After continuing her pleasant chat with the person on the other end of the phone for a while, Maria slowly turned to face Butler. Then, with an unsettling expression on her face, she laughed. It felt almost as though the person on the other end of the line was chatting about Butler.
マリア電話の相手は誰だじいさまか
Butler couldn't imagine that this was the case. After all, it was inconceivable that Maria would talk intimately with Kinzo. And that she would be chatting about Butler with that eerie smile on her face. So just what kind of person could be on the phone who could make Maria chat with a smile like that? At the time, in the back of my mind, the words Akiri had spoken to him drifted up. If a witch does appear, there's no need to doubt it. Just believe that it exists.
バトラー、今帰ってきたよ。せっかちだよね。
マリアその電話の相手は誰だ誰なんだ
変わる？うん。はい、バトラー。
After getting consent of the person on the other end, she held the receiver out to Butler.
はい。
Maria held the receiver out for him to take, as though it was perfectly normal. Butler hesitated just a little bit before taking the receiver. After all, by accepting the existence of the person at the other end, he'd have no choice but to acknowledge them. As Kiri said, there's no longer any need to doubt that they exist. So Butler took the receiver. As he did, Maria briskly left the room. Butler, who was a bit scared to find out for sure who was at the other end of the receiver, questioned Maria before taking the call.
おいどこへ行くんだよ
マリアのテストの場所だよ。後宮家の当主はバトラかマリアか、どっちだろうね。
いくら殺されるぞ
殺されないよ。儀式はもう終わってるもの。それに殺されても蘇らせてもらえるし、当主になってもなれなくても、もう私たちは黄金鏡に招いてもらえる。じゃあね、お先に。
待てよマリア
Butler stretched his hand out to Maria's back as she left. But the cord of the receiver that he was gripping stopped him just like a chain. I mean, Maria, man, she doesn't really care. She's very happy, honestly. He readied himself. Butler put the receiver to his ear. Okay.
もしもし
Congratulations! And I'm fine!
The name of the song is called Happy Maria.
And you?
I like how Beatrice is, or Beatrice, I mean, is mocking Butler here. Screwed up mocking English filled his ears. It was the voice of a woman he didn't know. Who was it? The inside of his head was starting to freeze up. Who was it?
誰はないであろう、後ろ宮バトラー。返事は普通。Yes, I'm fine.
Come on.
であろう懐かしいな。中国でやっただろ。二人一組になってやるやつ。
いかれてやがる。てめえは誰だ。答えやがれ。
英語で言えよ。お前そういうの得意だったろ。
ふざけんじゃねえよ。てめえは誰だ。クソジジイの手先か。
手先とはひどい言いざまではないか。むしろ虜と言ってやれ。金蔵こそわらわの虜だろう。
That last laugh didn't sound like it was aimed at Butler. It was almost as though Kinzo was right next to the phone, cackling as well.
名を名乗りやがれ。てめえは誰だ。何者だ。
当ててみろよ。ハワイへご招待するぜ。やっとだ。やっと。
She's wearing her school president outfit again.
長かったぜ。本当に今日まで長い日々だった。マジで1000年は待ったぜ。今日という日をよ。おかげさまをもちまして、わらは大復活。サンキュー金蔵。特別にさっきの待った聞いてやってもいいぜ。
やれやれ、上機嫌にも程があろうが、もう少しは淑女らしく振る舞わんか。
Kinzo and Beatrice sat facing each other over the chessboard on the reception table. There was expensive cheese as snacks to go with drinks, and there were several empty wine bottles lined up. As Beatrice rolled around on the sofa in an unseemly way, she happily held a wine glass in one hand and was probably completely drunk.
今日は最高にご機嫌だから大サービスだ。おいおい金蔵、こんな年代物の寄付ワインなんか飾ってんだよ。1947年ものかよ。今日開けなくていつ開けるつもりだ。それを浴びせっこして遊ぼうぜ。空き瓶で殴りっこもしよう。
ははは、それは愉快だ。浮かれすぎであるぞ。羽目の外しすぎだ。
金蔵だって。わらわに再会できて嬉しいだろう。シャバだ、うつしおだ。わらわの肉体万歳。
さっきから何を騒いでるんだ。お前がベアトリーチェだとでも言うのかよ。
イエスアイ金蔵の13人殺しの儀式のおかげでようやくわらわは復活したぞ。口があるといい、舌があるといい。こうしてそなたと話せることのなんと楽しいことか。そういえばお前とはあれだけ何度も何度も憎まれ口を叩き合ってきたのに、こうしてゲーム中に盤上で会話をしたのは初めてだな。何やらとても新鮮だ。お、今のポンって音聞こえたか。あいつ開けたぞ。マジでバカたっけえ秘蔵ワインを開けやがった。1本いくらするか知ってるか。10キロのインゴット丸々と同じくらいするんだぜ。
ふざけるな。何がベアトリーチェだ。黄金の魔女だと。いい加減にしろ。どこにいやがれ。そこにクソジジイも一緒にいるのか。てめえらまとめてぶっ飛ばしてやら。今どこにいやがるんだ。答えやがれ。
なんだ、わらわに会いたいのか。モテる女はつれや。
I mean, she is the witch of the hour.
でもよ、金蔵がいる時に口説くのはよせよ。こいつマジで焼くから立ち悪いぜ。金蔵のいない二人っきりの時ならこっそり内緒で愛してやるからよ。
イカれてやがるぜ。
金蔵、気が変わった。マリアのテストにわらわは行かない。そなたが行け。
なんと気まぐれな。ではお前がバトラーをテストするというのか。
いいだろう。あいつさ、お前の若い時に似てるからさ、キュンときちゃうんだよ。安心しろよ。浮気なんかしないって。あいつと二人っきりになるのは今だけ。わらわはいつだってお前と二人きりだろう。だがもうわらわを四六時中束縛するのは勘弁しろよ。
そういうわけだバトラー。そなたのテストはわらわ黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェが自ら執り行ってやろう。場所はそうだな、この屋敷の正面玄関にてだ。バトラー、次期当主のテストマジで頑張ってくれよ。どうせ金蔵なんてすぐに寿命でぽっくりいっちまう。バトラーが次期当主になってくれりゃ、お前がこの島の全ての新しい主だ。お前にわらわを独り占めにさせてもいいんだぜ。
And now she's just teasing him.
金蔵がしたみたい。わらわを支配しておくれよ。
My God.
屋敷の玄関だな。上等だ。このクソったれない酔っ払いめ。
You drunk bastard.
俺がてめえの酔いを覚ましてやるぜ。迎え酒には俺の熱いパンチをくれてやる。首を洗って待ってやがら。
Butler impulsively slammed the receiver down. There was no need to talk through it anymore. I'll meet her face to face and settle this. I took the spear that I made from a hat stand and went outside without even an umbrella. It's hard to imagine that the young woman calling herself Beatrice is waiting for me alone. I should probably assume that, as Goda-san and the rest said, she'll be waiting with supporting troops. Going alone would be too reckless. So, where's he going?
Goda-san! Kumasawa-san!
He's gonna check on them.
俺だ! Battler だ!
I headed for the gardening storehouse first. I need all the help I can get. Goda-san is big, so I can probably count on him for some firepower. Kumasawa-san's knowledge and familiarity with the terrain as a senior servant might become a huge weapon as well. Both of them have master keys and they know more about the mansion than I do. They'll be pretty reliable allies. The thing is, they're not even answering though. As I banged on the shutter and called out for them to open it, I remembered that there was nothing they could do from the inside. I would have to get the key back from them before opening the door. I rounded the corner, knocked on the small lattice window there and opened it.
ゴダさん、熊沢のばあちゃん、バトラーだ。おい、起きろって。お、
Yeah, they're probably gone now. 100% gone. The scene in the shed, lit by a dim light bulb, was very strange.
ゴダさん、熊沢さん。
From a low ceiling beam, you are hung to thick ropes. And at the end, Goda-san and Kumasawa-san were hanging by their necks. Jesus, they're actually showing it like this. It was dim and cramped because of the various pieces of equipment strewn about, so I couldn't make out the situation clearly. But when they showed not even a tremor after I called out to them, and because of the way the loops around their necks seemed to carry the full weight of their bodies, I could sense no trace of life from them. How could you explain that though? Right? If you had an investigation right now, how could you explain that? No one could enter that area. No one could open it from the front, right? Because the key is inside. They need to give the key. So how do they open that? How? I don't know. How could you explain that situation right there? The shutter was still closed, and there was only a single key which had supposedly been given to Goda-san. So how the culprit, or had the culprit opened the shutter and off them inside? No wait, they weren't necessarily killed. If this is that one, okay. That way this closed room makes sense, but I don't know why would they hang themselves and commit. Yes. Why though? If you were to assume that this was that, then Goda-san would have done this, because yeah, Goda is he's a big guy. He's much younger, right? And he's the only one who can hang both of them, right? Kumasawa can't do this, right? He can't do this to Goda, even if she knocked Goda off, or he knocked him out with maybe some like some sleeping stuff like gas or whatever. How can she even hang him like that? Like, it's impossible, right? How do you explain this situation now? Feebly, I slumped down on the spot. Now, the only humans alive on this island are Maria and that damn geezer. Sorry if I don't say that word, because yeah, YouTube doesn't want to say that word. They don't like it. No, there's also that insane woman calling herself a Beatrice. There's Maria, who had acted like the witch ally, or the witch's ally from the beginning. And that geezer, the ringleader who revived the witch. And the witch herself. What the hell? By now I might as well be the only one on this island. Using my pole as a cane, I feebly rose. Damn, I can't do it like this. I got to avenge everyone.
こんなんじゃダメだ。ダメだぜ。全然ダメだ。しかし
Might as well cry while I can, so that my frail emotions will be squeezed out with my tears. Then I straightened up and gazed into the darkness in the direction of the mansion. At the entrance to the mansion, the witch is waiting. I'll go settle this. I'll find the source of this weird, insane night and crush her with my own hands. Amidst the pouring rain, I walked through the rose garden without an umbrella, letting myself get soaked. I could see the arbor on the other side. According to Jessica, it seemed that George Aniki had also been killed. Well, by this point, there's no need to worry about the lives of my or of any hostages. I left the path aiming for the arbor. Then, I saw George's Aniki's weather-beaten corpse.
兄貴。畜生。
Damn, look at George here. Oh, look at the head. Do you see the head right now? Because Gaap, there's a wound there. Gaap stepped on him at the end, right? She fixed him, I think, for the stomach parts. And then she stepped on his head afterwards. That's why he has a wound here. My god. The corpse was in front of the arbor. If he had died under the arbor, he might have at least been spared being beaten down upon the rain. Well, for this one, you could explain for George, like maybe he could have been shot right in the head. Because yes, the wound there, you could say that. Maybe he could have been shot in the stomach. Like in the explanation in human terms. Shot in the stomach and then shot in the head afterwards. In Aniki's forehead was a gaping hole as though he had been shot with a gun. Perhaps because the rain had washed everything away, his face was covered with blood, so he looked almost like he was sleeping. I feel bad for George, honestly. Yeah, I feel bad for him. However, his clothes were stained a deep red and there were still signs that a large amount of blood had flowed out. How happy I'd be if he were sleeping or else pretending to be dead. But even though the rain sprayed against Aniki's eyes, they remained open. And the hole in his forehead was no joke, but absolutely real. There had been a faint chance that even Goda-san and Kumasawa-san hanging by their necks in the gardening shed had been them playing a bad joke. Imagine that, right? Come on. But the naive possibility had now been completely denied. I wonder though, yeah. What explanation could you say for Goda and Kumasawa there? I want to hear what Butler would say, but I guess we're not gonna have any investigations. And as I looked at his corpse, I became completely sure. And just as Goda-san had once said, the enemy had come to take lives like pieces on a chessboard.
間違いない。クソジジイと魔女は俺たちの命なんてね。本当にその程度にしか思ってないらしい。
The damn witch said something over the phone. Something about us being on the game board.
上等だぜ。そうかよ。こいつはゲームのつもりかよ。なら、お前らがみんなをゲームみたいに殺したように、俺がお前らをゲームのように殺してもいいわけだよな。首を洗ってやがれ。ベアトリーチェ。
The lightning caused the mansion's vast shadow to rise up. Finally, the mansion. As the massive shape came into view, there was no silhouette of any person. It seemed that there weren't any underlings waiting for me in a pack or anything like that. According to Kirie-san, there was a massive amount of attendance with goat heads. At least for now, I couldn't sense a large group of them hiding and staring at me. So what is this? Beneath the roof of the entrance, there's something set down.
なんだよこれは。箱か。
It looked like the kind of small box that girls often keep trinkets in. Or maybe it was the same kind of extravagant cigar case you'd find in a reception room. Either way, it didn't look like something that should be here. It clearly looked as though I was being told to open it. But for some reason, opening something being offered to me was irritating. However, it didn't look like we'd get anywhere if I didn't open it. Could it be that it's set up with some trap to make it explode when opened? Thinking things like that, forgetting even to come under the overhang, I continued to glare at the box, still beaten down upon by the rain. Then, mixed in with the thunder was some kind of music. It sounded like that. It was a tone of a big clock in the hall announcing 12 a.m. or 12 midnight. It was also the sound announcing that this insane day, October 4, had finally ended. But honestly, this one, right? No, what I mean is, this one is like the earliest in all the other episodes. When you compare it to other episodes, I mean. This one was the earliest finished, I guess. What do you call this? The ritual. The ritual finished the earliest in this one. October 4th. So October 5 now. But in the other games, it's usually on October 5 until the midnight to October 6 that it happens, right? And that much more incredibly insane day of October 5 had begun. That sound quieted and I could hear an eerie laugh coming out of nowhere. I got the feeling that the voice was coming from the heavens, and I looked up at the sky. Dude, we're getting a lot of insane CGs in this episode. Thank you very much for this. What I saw there was a woman I'd never seen before. No, it's not true that I've never seen her before. I saw her once today. Yes, the portrait inside the mansion. The clothes were different, but that face was just like the witch of the portrait. Who am I kidding? I already know who this person is. You know what this scene reminds me of? I mean, not the setting or how it looks like. Remember if you've played Watch Higurashi When They Cry, on the first chapter when Keiichi was in his house, right? And then it was raining and then Rena was outside looking at him like this. Yeah, it's the same style, I mean.
Yahoo! Battler!
From the second floor balcony, leaning out under an umbrella and waving high-spiritedly, was without a doubt the witch of the portrait, Beatrice. Was the plan for the boss to take a bird's eye view and let the goat underlings torture me to death? I adjusted the grip on the spear, and imagining goats creeping out of the nearby shadows and the entrance and surrounding me, I raised my guard in all directions.
安心しろよ。ここにはわらわとお前以外の誰もいねえぜ。ヤギの家具どももいなければ、悪魔の執事もお師匠様も、我が親友の悪魔もいない。そして、我が肉体の蘇生を手伝う黄金の蝶たちもいなければ、魔法陣もない。召喚者の立ち会いもない。その意味が、そなたにわかるかな？
さっぱりだぜ。寝言言ってる。
そなたとは確かにこの世界でも何度か会えてはきたのだ。まるですれ違うかのようにな。知っての通り、この人間どもの世界はただ貴様らが存在しわらわを疑うだけで、それは膨大な毒素となる。まるでそなたというキングに対して守りを固める堅牢な城壁のようよ。それをわらわは何度もゲームを重ね、駒を一つずつ進め、切り崩し追い込み、じわじわとそなたの城壁を切り崩していった。そしてようやくわずかの隙間を開き、そこからわらわはビショップを送り込み、そなたのすぐ近くに近づけるようになった。しかし知っての通り、ビショップは死角のある駒だ。黒のビショップはそなたが黒きマスにとどまる限り絶大な影響力を発揮するが、そなたがひょいと白きマスに一歩逃れれば、わらわはそなたの隣に接することはできても接触することはかなわぬのだ。だからわらわはそなたが白きマスにとどまれぬようさまざまな駒を送り込む。そなたの隣の黒きマスを支配するわらわの前に弾き出されるようにゲームを進めてきたのだ。しかし今やそなたの城壁はぽっかりと穴を開け、わらわはビショップではなくとうとうクイーンを送り込むことができた。クイーンがどういう駒か知っているか？
飛車プラス角だろ。言いてえことはこうかよ。今やお前は黒い魔女幻想のマスだけでなく、白い人間世界のマスにまで自由に侵食できるようになったと。
その通り。そなたはわらわの眷属である黄金の蝶たちが存在するマスのことを魔女幻想と呼び、
The illusion of the witch. You've been calling the skirts of the gold butterflies that are my minions, okay?
観測者なき非現実と仮定して否定してきたのだろう。知っておるぞ。だからこそわらわはこうしてとうとう白きマスへ降臨した。安心しろよ。黄金の蝶もヤギたちも悪魔も魔女も後でいっぱい呼んでやるぜ。そなたが望むならわらわの黄金鏡へ招待してやる。そこで何でも願いを叶えてやろうぞ。
どうやらこの島のチェス盤はインク壺でもぶっかけちまったみたいでな。
なるほど、それも愉快な表現よ。すぐにそなたもそのインクに染まるぞ。やがては真っ黒に染まり、必ず黒きキングになる。そなたは今やインクの海に溺れる哀れな存在であるな。
いや違う。島がてめえのインク壺で全て真っ黒に染まっちまったことは認めるが、白いマスはまだ残ってるぜ。
ほう、どこに？
俺の足の裏にだぜ。お前の魔法のインクが島中を覆い尽くそうと、俺がいけん、この島が真っ黒に染まろうと、俺は俺だ。白いマスをこうして踏みしめて立っている。
It's strange. Until a second ago, I was shivering all over. But now that she's appeared openly right before my eyes like this, my terror has actually lessened. Interesting. Ghosts are the most terrifying when you can only sense them. When you can see them and they have a face you can plant your fist into, there's nothing scary about it. However, she definitely isn't an interesting or friendly person. She can kill me instantly by snapping her fingers while rolling around and giggling. Whether we interpret the result of her snapping her fingers as magic flying at me or underlings showing up to shoot me, it doesn't matter. Anyway, whether this is a fantasy or a mystery, that queen is in a position where she can kill me by just snapping her fingers. I see, so this means she's the queen of this island, who reigns over both the white and black squares.
さーて、この雨の中、そなたが風邪をひくまで待つのも面白いが、そろそろ本題に入ろう。そこに箱があるのがわかろう。そなたへのテストはその中に入っている。
待ちな。俺はもう今さら次期当主が誰かなんてくだらねえゲームには興味ねえぜ。俺のゲームはクソジジイとお前とみんなを殺した奴ら全員にそれぞれ顔面パンチをぶち込むことだ。
ほう、わらわのこのバルコニーまで空を飛び上がってくるというのか。それはよい、それはよい。ならばほら、早く来いよ。ほらほら、パンパン。
絶対安全な場所に嫌がるからって余裕ぶっこきやがって。今からそこに行くぞ。
ダメダメ。鍵がかかっているぞ。もちろん窓もすべて鎧戸を下ろしてある。そなたが短期で切り込めるほどわらわの城は脆くはない。
I tried opening the door to the entrance anyway, but it really was locked. When I looked around, I noticed that the shutters were closed on the windows after all. Normally, those wouldn't be closed.
用意周到なやつだぜ。鍵はどこだ？
Goda-san and Kumasawa-san probably had master keys, but they were in the closed room of the gardening shed. I can only give up for now.
くそ。奴もバカじゃねえってか。
そんなにわらわのすぐ隣に来たいのか。いいぞ。そなたがテストに見事合格できたら謁見を許そうではないか。
Okay, do you really want to be right beside me so much? Alright, if you impressively pass your test, why don't I grant you an audience?
合格ということはそなたこそが次期当主、そしてわらわの肉体も魂もどう扱おうとそなたの自由よ。わらわは所詮は後宮家の家具なのだから。
どうやらテストってやつをどうしてもやらせたいらしいな。いいぜ、受けて立ってやら。合格したら最初のご褒美はてめえに顔面パンチだぜ。
それは怖い怖い。だが暴力に支配されるのも嫌いではないぞ。わらわの頭をこうわしづかみにして苦痛に表情を歪めさせ、鷹がその爪で獲物を引き裂きかきむしるようにわらわを蹂躙して てくれよ。ああ、若き日の金蔵をもう一度思い出させておくれ。わらわにこの1000年の生涯でただ一度支配され屈服し家具に落ちる喜びを教えてくれたあの日のことを思い出させてくれよ。
酔っ払いね。拉致が開かねえ。
Ignoring the stupidly smiling witch, I picked up the box.
そうだ、それを開け。中に手紙がある。それを読むのだ。
I opened it. There was a faint smell of cigarettes. Apparently, it really had originally been a cigar case, but there was no cigarettes or cigars inside. Instead, there was a western envelope with a one-winged eagle crest inside. And when I opened that too, there was a letter inside. I looked up at the witch. She was grinning down at me. It seemed she was looking forward to seeing what kind of reaction I'd have to the contents. Damn, just perfect. Its contents were something like this. Among 3 mentioned below, in order to gain 2, sacrifice 1. Your life, blank's life, everyone else's life. It was number 2 then. If you do not choose 1, all of the above will be lost. I mean, they're gone
な
already.
んだこりゃ。
Yeah. What?
随分と物騒なことが書かれてるぞ。
I mean, I guess it's a test. I guess, okay.
それより2番目が空欄になってて、誰の命か分かりゃしねえ。
I don't even know whose life it's supposed to be.
その2番にはそのものの最も愛するものの名が入る。
The second one is where you put the name of the one the test taker loves the most.
ジェシカのテストにはカノンの名が、
Oh.
ジョージのテストにはシャノンの名が入った。彼らについては思い人がはっきりしていたからあらかじめ名前を記入してやれもしたが、そなたの思い人をわらわは知らぬ。
Okay.
だから誰の名を書けばいいやら分からず空欄とさせてもらった。
そいつはちょうどいいや。愛してるぜベアトリーチェ。
Oh.
お前の名前をここに突っ込んでやる。だから俺が選ぶ選択肢は2番だ。これでいいか？
おいおい、茶化すな茶化すな。なあ、頼むよバトラー。お前の思い人の名をわらわに教えてくれよ。じゃないとテストにならぬではないか。
Tell me the name of the person you have feelings for.
悪いな。俺に特定の女はいねえぜ。仮にいたって誰がお前なんぞに話すもんか。
Even if I did, why the hell would I tell you?
そういうことではこのテストはそなたに成立せぬ。残念残念。そなたの思い人がどのような女か好みくらいは気になったのだがな。
俺が黒髪長髪のまな板少女がいいって言ったらどうするよ。
Okay.
お前とは一つも一致しねえぜ。
嘘をつけ、このおっぱいソムリエが。金髪のダイナマイトバディがいいんだろ。
Blonde and bouncy is the best. The way she said dynamite body.
わらわがまさに理想の体現ではないか。
Okay, I gotta listen to this clearly. You can see what she's saying here, right? I mean, what she's implying here, I mean.
お前の3サイズを当てるのが次期投資のテストだってんなら喜んで挑戦してやるぜ。
I mean, let's look at Beatrice here. She is blonde. And then she has that, right? She has a wreck. What is she implying here? Okay.
そうそう。 次期当主のテストであったな。そなたと喋るのが楽しくて、ついついさっきから脱線してしまうわ。それでは次期当主のテストを始める。そなたに後宮家次期当主としての資格があるかどうかを問う。心して答えるがよい。
Okay, okay. The witch who had been joking around like she was drunk until a second ago suddenly regained her dignity. She looked as though she truly had stepped out of that majestic portrait.
我こそは後宮家顧問錬金術師、黄金の魔女にして無限の魔女ベアトリーチェ。後宮家の家督と我が黄金のすべてを継承する資格があるかどうか、それをわらわが問う。そなたの名を名乗るがよい。
後宮バトラだ。
When faced with a dignity you wouldn't have imagined from her appearance a short while ago, I answered without any hesitation. And from that, yes, I see. I can tell why she's worthy of calling herself the true queen of this island.
よろしい、後宮バトラよ。しかしそなたはその後宮の名をこの6年捨てたであろう。それはなぜか。
クソ親父に愛想が尽きたからさ。
Because I ran out of love for that old bastard, so Rudolph.
知っている。父親の再婚がそなたの敬愛する母親の死を冒涜したように感じたからであろう。
Yes?
なるほど。新しき母はそなたと何の血のつながりもない。そなたがその母を受け入れられぬ気持ちはわからぬでもない。しかし父親が誰と再婚しようともそなたとの血のつながりは変わらぬのではないか。
何が言いてえ。
父親の再婚に反対するという父親を独占したいがゆえのそなたの幼稚も多少の理解はしよう。しかしそれに反抗するために後宮の名を捨てるは家と血に対する冒涜ではないのか。そなたは後宮に生まれ育まれてきたのではないか。その恩を忘れ後宮の名を捨てる資格が
お前には関係ねえ。俺と親父の問題だ。
後宮の名はお前と父親だけのものではない。お前は知らぬ女に父親を奪われることを許せず反抗しただけの幼稚だ。後宮家の籍を捨て去ったこの6年間はそなたが後宮家に泥を塗りし短からぬ年月、その罪深きを知るがいい。
幼稚で悪かったな。
しかし祖父母の死を境とはいえよくぞ後宮に籍を戻した。よってその罪を自ら見そぐ機会をそなたに与えよう。今こそそなたの6年前の罪をあがなう時。
What? However, even though it occurred around the time of the deaths of your grandparents, you did well. What? The time of the deaths of your grandparents? You did well to return to the Oshinomiya register. For that, let us give you a chance to purify that sin yourself. Now is the time to compensate for your sin of 6 years ago. What do you mean? What?
さあさあ思い出してごらんなさい。自らの罪を、それを思い出し告白し懺悔せよ。
Sin of 6 years ago. So the last time basically he was on the island.
それこそが わらわがそなたに与えるテストである。
So, you're telling me that, what do you call this? Butler met the real Beatrice back then. Let's say 6 years ago, right? As she's saying here. Let's put it there. Yeah, 6 years ago. Sin of your 6 years ago. So earlier in this episode, I was talking about Maria, Ange, right? Maybe meeting the real Beatrice back then. So, or maybe, or rather, or some other people. Maybe the other people as well. Maybe they knew about Kuodorian. Maybe they knew about, yeah, the real Beatrice. So, I guess this adds another one to that, or another plus to that maybe some of the people knew about, yeah, the real Beatrice. And now she's saying this one. Your sin of 6 years ago, what is it? At the time, a massive thunderclap rang out, making my mind go blank. We'll talk more later. We'll listen in first.
懺悔せよって。なんだよ。謝れって言いたいのかよ。
もうテストは始まっているぞ。そなたの好きに考えるがよい。
The witch's expression did not look like a person forcing a tough question and someone sneering at them. She was asking seriously, and he could even sense a quiet determination. Even though the rain fell on Butler, he did not shift his eyes from that gaze. The witch threw her umbrella away. She abandoned herself to the falling rain, so that the rain would fall on her until Butler answered that question. She had chosen to let the rain fall on her as well until he reached an answer. For some reason, Butler understood that, and yet he didn't understand.
いや、まあ。それを言われりゃ、幼稚だったとは思うぜ。なんのかんの言ったって、親父に育ててもらった恩は、親父が再婚したからってチャラになるもんじゃねえ。
Even that getting remarried didn't cancel out the debt I owed for him raising me.
親父は、養育費は常に送り続けてくれたそうだし、学校の行事にも参加したいと言っててくれたそうだ。
I hear that Dad always kept on paying for my living expenses, and that he even said he wanted to participate in school events.
それを俺が、絶対に来させるなとじいちゃんたちに言ってたから、来させなかっただけで。確かにそりゃ、俺の幼稚な反抗だったと、バッサリ言われりゃそれまでだぜ。
But that's not it, though.
いや、でもよ、ならよ、おふくろの、後宮アスムの無念は、誰が晴らすんだ？
Who would clear away Mom's Oshiromiya Asumi's regrets?
おふくろはあんなにも献身的に俺たち家族に尽くし、頑張ってくれたんだぜ。なのに親父は、キリエさんと浮気もしていた。園児を身ごもらせてさえいた。
Dad was cheating with Giri-san. He even got her pregnant with Angie.
それで、出産に合わせて、駆け込むかのように籍を入れたんだ。それがおふくろへの裏切りでなくて何なんだよ。おふくろの無念は、誰が晴らすんだよ。だが、お前の言う通りでもあるさ。浮気は事実でも、俺を育ててくれた恩は確かにあった。なら、それを相殺して、俺が家を出ていくというので十分問題ねえじゃねえかよ。そうさ、俺にはお袋の代わりに親父をぶん殴る権利が、いや、義務があったはずなんだぜ。それを俺は許した。何も言わずに出て行って、初めから俺なんていなかったことにしてやった。親父も俺のことなんか忘れて、キリエさんやエンジェと新しい家族を始めた。それで丸く収まってるじゃねえか。
But since then, 6 years have passed. Time healed the anger. Kiri understood my anger. No, I'm just no, I'm looking at this. Time healed the anger. Okay, she tried to interact with me even if it meant tearing her heart apart. Anja didn't know anything about the situation, and even though I lived in a separate house, she was raised believing that I was a real big brother and loved me as if it were true. Dad casually said to come home anytime I wanted.
だんだんバカらしくなってきたんだよ。そろそろ俺も頭を冷やしてもいいかなって思ったんだ。だから俺は親父が謝ったら全部水に流すと言ってやったんだ。じいちゃんの葬式の日に。そしたらあいつ本当に畳に両手をついて詫びやがったよ。
Oh, he really did that. Okay.
信じらんねえくらいに情けない格好だった。あの格好つけた親父が本気で頭を下げやがったんだぜ。それを見たらなんだかもうバカらしくなっちまった。きっとおふくろもそう思っただろうぜ。おふくろは俺と親父が喧嘩をするといつも笑いながら仲裁してくれて、なんだそんなくだらないことで喧嘩をしていたのと笑ってくれた。俺はおふくろがそう言って笑っているのを感じたんだよ。だから許すとまでは言えなかったけど、もう一度ゼロから始めてもいいかなって思ったんだよ。それで6年前に全てを巻き戻すことにした。それで後ろ宮家に席を戻したんだよ。俺も6年間泣き怒り悩み抜いた。ひょっとするとそれは親父もそうだったろうし、死んだおふくろもそうだったかもしれない。あるいはキリエさんやエンジェもそうだったかもしれない。だからゼロに戻し後ろ宮バトラに戻ったんだ。それは俺たち家族の問題であって、後ろ宮家とかそんなのは何も関係ねえ。それを罪だと断じる資格はお前にないし、それをお前に懺悔する義務も俺にはない。もしそれを本当にすべき相手がいたとしたら、それはお前がもう全員殺した。だから俺は何も謝らない。懺悔しない。それが俺のこのテストへの答えだ。
Okay. But she's not answering. This is not it, right?
それだけか。
Yeah, this is not it.
何
Part of me had fully responded to her provocation, and I supposedly vented out all the stuff I'd kept inside my chest, stuff I hadn't wanted to show anyone. But that was what the witch had supposedly been expecting, and yet the witch's blank expression didn't change in the slightest. I'd been sure she'd start cackling and guffawing, sneering at my childish, foolish, and shameful past. But to the contrary, I could feel a sense of disgust about her. Something you could call a disappointment. Okay.
それだけも何も。俺は洗いざらいをぶちまけたぜ。
Honestly, I want to talk about this now, but let's continue first.
何が不満なんだよ。
まだ罪の清算が足りぬ。
清算？なんだよ。親父みたいにここに土下座して謝れってのかよ。
違う。お前たち家族の、お前の家での話になど興味はない。
See, she's basically saying it is not your family. It is me. You did something to me, right? And that is your sin.
ここはどこだ？六軒島だ。後ろ宮本家の本宅である。この場所にふさわしいそなたの思い出すべき罪が。
他に 俺に罪があるってのかよ。
Honestly, I'm getting a gist of what this sin may be. Like, it's not, like bad. No, what I mean bad is, how do I put this? You know, like, for example, Butler hurt her, like, physically and stuff like that. It's not like that. It's a different kind of sin, I guess. But we'll continue for now.
思い出せ。そしてそれを思い出せぬことがそなたの罪。だからこそ許そう。それを思い出せたなら許そう。それを思い出すことがそなたへの贖罪のテストである。
Test of Atonement.
思い出せって言われてもよ。
思い出せ。だからこそ罪なのだ。
悪いがベアト。
But this is really a big one, though. This is a really big one. Another one for the story itself.
俺には身に覚えがさっぱりだ。なんだか6年前の俺がお前に迷惑をかけたみたいな雰囲気だが。
I mean, it doesn't... It's not like you make it sound like I caused you trouble 6 years ago or something. I think she thinks, yeah, you did. You really did.
俺はお前とは今回の親族会議が初対面のはず。確かにお前の伝説は6年前の当時にも存在していたが、俺との面識は当時にはなかったはずだ。
無論である。
Naturally.
6年前の六軒島においてわらわはまだ権限していない。
I had not yet materialized. I should write that. Yeah, I had not yet materialized. We'll talk about that.
なら俺に何の罪があるってんだ。俺にお前に対する罪が何かあるってのか。
同じことを二度言わせるな。わらわは6年前には権限しておらぬ。そなたと面識などあろうはずもない。そなたという世界において存在しないも同じだ。
Beato's cold eyes felt as though they were pursuing some kind of sin. At a glance, it felt as though she still hated me for something I'd done to her and that she blamed me for it. However, I naturally didn't have a clue and Beato had said it herself. 6 years ago, there was no link between us. 6 years ago, no person called Beatrice existed for me. Okay, this is set in red right now. I wish I could screenshot this.
ヒントくらい出せよ。その罪とやらは俺とお前に関係がある。
わらわは6年前にはそなたと縁がない。わらわのことはいい加減に考えから外せというのだ。なぜわらわへの罪だと思うのか。
お前の目さ。
目？ほう。
お前の目がさ、詫びろって俺に囁いてくるんだよ。だが俺はお前なんか6年前に縁はねえし、それはお前も認めたはずだ。本当なのか？本当に俺とお前の問題ではないのか？
違うというのに。わらわとそなたの問題など全く関係ないわ。
だがよ、お前の目がそうだと言ってるんだよ。だから俺にはさっぱりわからねえ。赤で言えるか？お前が思い出すと言っている罪が俺とお前の間のものではないと宣言できるか？
Can you proclaim that this sin you're telling me to remember isn't something between you and me?
よかろう。
The sin I'm now demanding that you remember is not between Ushiromiya Butler and Beatrice.
なら、なぜそんな目で俺を見る？
わからぬ。わらわはそなたをこうして淡々と見つめているだけだ。それをそなたがそう感じるというのならば、それはそなたにそう感じる何かがあるのではないか。
俺に何の罪があるってんだ？
後宮バトラには罪がある。
I mean, it's in red as well.
どんな罪だってんだ？どうせ叩いたとかごまかしたとかくだらねえ罪だろ。
そなたの罪で人が死ぬ。
Because of your sin, people die.
嘘つけ！俺は誰も殺してなんかいない。じゃあ言えよ。俺が誰を殺した？いつ？誰を？どうやって？
そなたの罪によりこの島の人間が大勢死ぬ。
So basically what she's saying now is because Butler forgot about whatever this is, a lot of people died. So basically the incident in Rokenjima happened because of Butler.
誰も逃さぬ。すべて死ぬ。
None will escape, all die, and that is said in red.
はぁ？何をわけわかんねえこと言ってんだ。俺がみんなを殺したって言うのかよ。俺は殺人鬼か？
I think it's not like that though. It's not implied like that.
そなたが直接手を下すわけではない。
Yeah, it doesn't mean you carried it out directly.
しかしそなたが罪を犯したからこそ6年にもわたる歯車の狂いにて歪みが生じ、今夜これだけの人命が失われるのだ。そなたはこの惨劇の原因の一つである。
So you are one of the causes of this tragedy. You are one of the causes. One of the...
いい加減にしろ。俺が原因だ。じゃあなんだ？俺が6年前に後宮の席を捨てたから13人が死んだってのか？俺が6年ぶりに後宮家に帰ってきたから13人が死んだってのか？
Are saying that 13 people died because they came back to the Oshiromiya family after 6 years. That is interesting though, right? That is very interesting.
ふざけるな。いい加減にしろ。俺はこの6年間最も後宮家から遠ざかっていた男だぜ。その俺が何に何のどんな影響を与えたってんだ。俺だって好きで親族会議に来たわけじゃねえぞ。6年ぶりによりを戻したからこれまでの期間のけじめってことでしぶしぶと六軒島まで来たんじゃねえか。別に俺は今日ここへ来る義理なんてなかったんだ。その俺が帰ってきてそれが理由で惨劇が起こった？じゃあなんだ？俺が帰ってこなけりゃ誰も死なずに済んだってのか？赤で言えよ。俺がもし帰ってこなかったらこのおかしな殺人事件は起こらなかったと赤で言えるのかよ。
I'm gonna guess she's gonna say it.
言えるわけねえさ。お前が全ての犯人なんだからな。苦笑要求。後宮バトラがもしも六軒島に戻ってこなかったら事件は起こらなかった。言えるものなら言ってみろ。言えねえだろ。言えやしないのさ。犯人はお前なんだ。俺じゃない。勝手にその責任を俺になすりつけるんじゃねえ。答えろよ。悪笑してみろってんだ。できやしない。事件に俺の存在なんか関係ないのさ。わけのわかんねえことを言って俺を混乱させるんじゃねえ。
Okay, she didn't say anything though. I began to remember the coldness of the raindrops that kept pounding down. The rain earlier had just hurt, but now I felt tormenting cold from those raindrops.
何も思い出すことはないのか。
悪いが、俺にはさっぱり心当たりがねえ。おい、俺は少しイラつき始めてんだぜ。言いたいことがあるなら言えよ。俺に恨みがあるなら堂々と言えばいい。思い出せなんていやらしい言い方をするんじゃねえ。
もう一度聞く。何も罪も
You can see her
思い出せぬ
very,
か。
very pissed right now.
ああ、何にも思い出せねえな。
何も思い出せぬというか、これにて未練は尽きたか。
Wait, who's talking? What?
望みなき賭けも賭けねば未練が残ろう。それでよいのだ。賭けることに意味がある。そうかもしれぬな。ならばこれにてわらわの未練もゲームも終わりだ。
The end of my regrets and my game.
そなたはどうする？さあな。わらわはもう何の興味もない。すまぬが、わらわはこれにてゲーム版を降りさせてもらいたい。そうか。わかった。後のゲームはわらわが引き継ぐ。そなたは休め。後のことはすべてわらわが終わらせる。そなたはすべてを忘れて枕に顔をうずめよ。
You may forget everything and bury your head in your
羽の
pillow.
布団はそなたをすべてから優しく守ってくれるだろう。後片付けを頼
Finish up the rest.
む。任せよ。後のことはすべて任せ眠れ。
Oh my god. The witch who had questioned Butler hid herself, and the other witch who had appeared from behind remained. She certainly was identical, the same witch, but her expression was somehow indifferent and ice cold. Completely removed from the one, despite seeming drunk up until then, had been in high spirits.
おい、聞いてるのか？テストとやらはもう十分だろ。合格だろうと不合格だろうとどうでもいいぜ。お前の横っ面をぶん殴ってやらなきゃ気が済まねえ。降りてきやがれ。さもなきゃここの扉を開けやがれ。
The witch did not answer. Her eyes were as ice cold as Butler's shoulders. She was now clearly a different person since the time she'd first appeared on that balcony. The witch gazed into my eyes and gave 2 small shakes of the head. Even without words, I was able to gather that she was expressing some kind of disappointment. Without saying anything, the witch turned on her heels. After that, only Butler remained, the cold rain still beating down on him. That was a lot, man. That last couple minutes, 30 minutes of that scene there, it was insane, honestly. Okay, let's go here. So it's not gonna be, I guess, that loud. Miss Beatrice right here, right? But yeah, that scene right there, Butler's sin. What is it? So I guess we'll start from the beginning if we can. There was a lot that happened, man. But yes, when we first saw that envelope, basically it was empty, right? What she said there was, on that blank space right there is the name of the person of this. Oh yeah, for example, Jessica, it was Canon. For George, it was Shannon, right? And for Butler, it was empty. So after that, she was like, Butler was like, but yes, like, I love you and something like that. She said something like that, right? As a joke. But it seems like she really wanted maybe her name there, right? And it's very, very interesting, this mystery right here. So what basically they're implying is Butler met with the real Beatrice back then, 6 years ago. They met. Okay, let's say they met. And his sin is he probably, I mean, it's not like she hit or he hit him. For sure, it's not like that. So Butler is 18 years old now, right? About that age, 18, 19, something like that. So six years ago, he would be like what, 12 years old? So 12 years old, meaning that, and then maybe this real Beatrice was still young as well back then, like maybe like 12, 13. So honestly, this them saying this like this, remember I had a theory that Kinzo had a kid with, I mean, it's weird to say, but with Beatrice, the other one. Remember the one with Rosa? Right? That one? That died, I guess? And then maybe Kinzo had a kid with that one. And then that kid is probably this one. This real Beatrice in here. Right? So, let's say it like this. So Butler met this Beatrice, this young one, back then 6 years ago, and then they probably played, etc., all that stuff. And then as a kid, of course, maybe he said something to her. It's hard to say maybe what he said. Maybe he promised her something, right? As for them, they're only here in the island for like what, a couple of days, right? Or at least most of them. Like the only ones here is Jessica, probably, right? And then the other ones, like, yeah, Butler, George, who else? Maria. But yeah, technically the other family members are not here in the island every time. They're only here from time to time. So maybe when Butler met her, he promised her something. And then that's why this original Beatrice maybe fell in love with Butler back then, 6 years ago, right? So I guess, yeah, the sin is he didn't remember her. Maybe he doesn't remember that. But yeah, it seems that she's very selfish though, right? No, selfish as in, we see earlier how Butler was talking about his family, right? He had a problem with his family 6 years ago. He had a problem there. Even if he promised that to this original Beatrice, or whatever he promised to that original Beatrice, he couldn't go back, let's say the next year, right? And then the next year, he couldn't come back to that. To her, he probably forgot about her because of what he's been dealing with his family situation, right? So yeah, it feels very selfish for this Beatrice, this original one, to get angry. But then again, we don't really know what happened. It just feels that way when you look at it, right? Like, why is she's doing all of this because Butler did that? Because Butler forgot about her? But then again, we don't know how this Beatrice has been living, right? it will, yeah, they will show it to us as we go on with the story, but for now we don't really know how she's lived. So maybe this promise or whatever that Butler made to her or whatever was so, what do you call this, it means a lot to this person, right? To the original Beatrice. And then Butler didn't return. He forgot about her. So that's why she was angry, right? So that was a sin there. Butler forgot about her, that's why she was disappointed, right? And I guess for what she's saying here, she said earlier, you're one of the causes of this I guess this incident in Rokijima. This is one of the reasons. But she said one. It was said there, one of the causes. So there's more to it. There's a lot that has happened to this person that we don't know yet. But this is one of the causes. This is one of them. And what do you call this? What else? Okay, I written some of them as we've been hearing them. So this one, she said that I had not yet materialized yet as Beatrice. So this original Beatrice has her own name. It was not Beatrice. So she was, let's just say, as they always say it, she was not yet the Golden Witch yet. She had her own name, a different name. We don't know what name that is right now. That's why it's blank right there. But now, as she's going as a Golden Witch, who knows what happened between that 6 years, right? That, let's say she talked to Butler then up until when he returned to Rokijima, right? So she became the witch by then. That's why I think, yeah, she said something in red earlier that they haven't interacted yet or something like that. Because she was not Beatrice back then. She was another person. She had her own name, another person, a different person. But now she's going by Beatrice, right? So this is honestly so cool, this mystery here. It's really good. Now we know Butler's sin. Not really, but I mean, it adds more to the mystery. Yet again, why this person did this, right? But it just for that you did this? What was the saying again? Without love, right? Without love, it cannot be seen. Technically, that's it. Without love, Butler cannot see who this person is. He couldn't remember who this person is. Right? They keep saying this word, without love, it cannot be seen. Does Butler really love this person? Did he just say maybe something when he was a kid? Maybe he said he loved her, he liked her, or whatever. And then for this person, for the original Beatrice, it was a lot for her. It meant a lot for her. So she remembered that, right? And but for Butler, yeah, he forgot about it because of his family problems and all of that. And I don't know. We don't know really if Butler really liked her or loved her back then. Hopefully we see those scenes in the other episodes. Hopefully they show it to us. Please show it to us. But yeah, you can look at this in two ways, right? You know, remember earlier? What is this? Let me give an example. Like Angie and Maria, right? When Angie was talking to Maria earlier in this episode, Angie was like, "Can you not see your life? It's so sad. Look at what is happening with you," right? And then Maria would counter with, "No, I actually had really fun with this. Yeah, Mom Roses was not here, but I had fun with Sakutaro and my imaginary friends, my friends. I had fun with them." So you can look at them at different sides, different perspectives, different routes. What if this person, yeah, she liked Butler, but Butler really just maybe said something back then, but it was not really meaning that way, right? I don't know, man. We need to find more about this. Because it seems like like, yeah, the original Beatrice really loved. I'm not saying like. It's love, basically. It's love, not like, love. That's why it was empty in the test sheet earlier, right? It's really love. This original one loved Butler. And then he forgot about her. And now she got angry. That's one of the causes. And now he returned to Rokkenjima. Who knows what happened, right? When he returned to Rokkenjima, did she plan this? That she knew that Butler was coming? Did she plan this whole incident because Butler was coming back or what? Dude, I want to know so bad right now. Like, what really happened? It's gonna take a long time. We've played this game for more than 100 hours. We have 4 more episodes after this one. And I can't wait to see this through. Like, this game is insane. Like, this is the 4th question arc. We haven't been into the answer arc yet. And yeah. Who knows, right? Who knows? This is insane, honestly. But then again, imagine this, right? No, what I was saying earlier, or what was I saying? Like, Kinzo, Beatrice, the other one, and then they had the kid, and maybe the kid was this one, right? Imagine that. So basically, you loved someone, or I mean, yeah, loved someone, and then Butler. No, what I mean is they are basically, if that is true, I mean, if that my theory is correct, they are family. Technically, right? Yeah. Technically, yes. Oh my god. I don't know, man. We don't know yet. We don't know this. We don't know this whole stuff yet. It's I need to learn more of the story right here. I don't know. I don't really. Maybe it's not really love like that. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But yeah, because of the test. Yeah, because of the test there. Because of the test though. Maybe it's love that. Oh, hope. Maybe like hope that maybe Butler can help me. Something like that. Maybe it's that kind of love, right? Like, oh, maybe this person can help me out. Maybe that's the kind of love. Not a love like a relationship, sexual love. Maybe not like that, right? I don't know, man. There's a lot we need to find out, and we're not even in the answer arcs yet. But stuff like this they're giving us in this question arcs is insane, and I love it a lot. Maybe we'll talk about this more once we finish this episode. I don't even know how long this episode has left. Maybe it's much more longer. Maybe it's we're very close because yeah, basically they're telling this to us now. So maybe we're very close to ending this. So anyways, hopefully you loved this. Another good or great, I'll say great scene again in this Umineko When They Cry episode 4. It's been amazing. And I can't wait to see more. So anyways, we'll continue this and do more of Umineko When They Cry episode 4 in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye-bye.